Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. We're going to have fun today. This is strictly a college basketball stream. I'll repeat myself one more time. This is strictly a college basketball stream. There will be no NBA talking. It will be just strictly, I will be strictly talking about college basketball only. Much salute to everybody. It's 10:41 out here in the West, and there's been breaking news already in college basketball. The coach of my favorite team in college, Kansas Jayhawks, is going to be suspended, and his longtime assistant, who I met before, Norm Roberts, and I think a couple more assistants will be suspended for the first 4 games of the season. No, I don't think it's Norm Roberts, is it? Let me read this right. No, Norm Roberts would be the intern coach. Shout out to Norm Roberts, though, longtime Kansas Jayhawk assistant. This is based on an FBI investigation based on 2017. So my thing is this. It happened, but I think all these schools be doing some little corruption stuff, man, and everything, and it just happens. Because, Ncaa they play the dirtiest game. You know what I mean? So, that's all I got with that. But, let's get on right into it. I'm going to do the women's first, like I did last year. Now, this is according to ESPN. I'm going to tell you my thoughts afterwards, of it. Okay? Because I do watch women's ball as well. Aaliyah Boston, she a 6'5" senior. She ranked number 1. Last year's stats was 16.8 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, 2.4 rebounds per game. She's the reigning National Player of the Year and heads into her senior season after 30 double-doubles last year, including an SEC record 27 in a row. She was also National Defensive Player of the Year and has 257 career blocks. Mind you, she's only 6'5", and she's getting all these blocks like that. And I can't wait to see what she's going to bring out her senior year. And it goes on to say Boston will try to replicate a national championship season for her and the Gamecocks. She has publicly stated that she will bypass her super senior year, but if she does, Boston's the overwhelming favorite to be the WNBA's number 1 draft pick in next year's draft. And I think she's number 1 by a mile. That's just according to me. The girl, she has game, she has toughness, she don't get tired. She know how to move her feet really well. She face up. She gets you on the block. I just want to see more mid-range game from her, back to the basket and everything. But hey, I like her development. And the number 2 person they got ranked is, I call her the female Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark from Iowa. Even with 3 years of eligibility remaining, it's hard to imagine Clark accomplishing any more individually. She had led the country in scoring as a freshman and a sophomore, and last year, and became the first player to top the nation in both scoring and assists in the same season. She has unlimited shooting range and astonishing court vision, but the NCAA success is the one thing that has so far eluded Clark. The level of greatness she reaches this season and her chances of overtaking Boston for National Player of the Year might rest with how the Hawkeyes fare beyond the Big Ten. And shout out to my boy Vaughn too, because we was talking about her last year. We predicted this matchup because they was in the same bracket at South Carolina, and but they got knocked out early. So other than that, man, I gotta agree with this whoever wrote this. You know what I mean? By Cream. I totally agree. Only thing that's stopping her is a long run in the NCAA tournament because she has done everything already as a freshman, as a sophomore, and as a junior. She has led the nation in scoring. I'll repeat myself. She led the nation in scoring as a freshman, as a sophomore, and as a junior. And mind you, she was hurt, so she technically got 3 years of eligibility. She averaged 27 points a game, 8 point assists a game, and she averaged 45.2 field goal percentage. They don't got her. They don't got the latest 3-point percentage. The number 3 person who I can't disregard is Haley Jones. She is 6'1" guards. Jones had dazzled since arriving to Farm in 2019, but this season will see her assume a role she hasn't had to do much during her college career at point guard. Thanks to the graduation of Anna Wilson and the Hull twins, this is truly Jones' team now, in what she said will be her final season at Stanford. For the Cardinals to win the national title in 3 years and 4th overall, Jones will have to put together another All-American caliber season, one in which she reminds onlookers why she was the 2021 Final Four most outstanding player. And she averaged 13.2 points per game last year, 7.9 rebounds per game. That's good to average almost 8 rebounds as a 6'1" guard in the latest game. That's good, and she averaged 3.7 assists per game. But she never played point guard, but this is gonna be her first year. I like Haley Jones. She's nice, and it's just imagine Stanford only won. They win it. It's just amazing. Stanford girls only won 3 national titles. That's crazy. That is crazy. But the next person is Ashley Jones. Ashley Jones. Excuse me. She's at Iowa State. Yeah, she's a killer too. She averaged 20 points, 3 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game. She averaged 2.0 assists per game. Jones is our highest ranked super senior and goes into her 5th season already, holding the program record in points with 2,369. She is 129 rebounds away from becoming Iowa State all-time leader in that category as well. Jones is Iowa State first preseason Associated Press All-American. She also preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, which I think she will be. A 2-time winner of the Cheryl Miller Award as the nation's top small forward. She hopes to lead the Cyclones to their first Big 12 regular season title since 2000. And Vopel wrote that about her. Ashley Jones, hey, I watched a lot of her. The girls are killers. She played forward. She played guard. Man, she get you anything that you want, man, in a player, man. And it's just like she said, she was a 2-time player winner of the Cheryl Miller Award as the nation's top small forward. Hey, I think she is. This girl is nice, man. I ain't gonna lie. And then number 5 is Elizabeth Kitley from Virginia Tech. She's 6'6" senior, 18.1, 9.8 rebounds, 2.4 blocks. She is the reigning ACC Player of the Year and was tough enough for opposing defenses to guard. But now that Virginia Tech's add multiple talented players along her, Taylor Soule from Boston College and Ashley Owusu from Maryland, things might only further open for Kitley to get work down low. Kitley says she has spent the offseason spending her game from the three-point line for the three-pointer to iron a sky hook to her badge of go-to moves. For the Huskies to capitalize on what Coach Brooks said is the most talented group yet, he needs Clinton to lead the charge in a stacked ACC. And the ACC is the ACC Women's Conference. That is a very, always been a very good conference. And it is a lot of teams from the ACC always goes to the tournament. They always been that way. They always been a competitive league. See, back in the day, it used to be the SEC and the ACC. You know what I mean? Always had consistent teams. You know what I mean? Now the SEC is really trying to get back on the rise now. But shout out to Virginia Tech. They really got a nice team. I seen them play them. I seen them practice and everything like that. They're gonna be nice. They're gonna be reckoned with. And then adding them to transfer players is gonna make them very dynamic. It's gonna be very interesting in Virginia Tech this year. At number 6 is Cameron Brick from Stanford. She is 6'4". She averages 13.5, 8.1 rebounds per game, 2.6 blocks per game. Jones doesn't have to shoulder the load for Stanford tired on her own. She can also turn to Brink, the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Brink also says she spent time on her three-point shooting this offseason after just 61 attempts from deep across her 2 years at Stanford. Meaning it's a hot, entirely unrealistic for Coach Tyra Vanderveer to potentially go with a jumbo lineup with Brink at the 3. Most critical for Brink, though, is finding ways to stay on the floor. She's fairly fouling. Yes, that is true. She does get in foul trouble a lot. She's fairly foul prone, causing her to average fewer than 22 minutes per game as a sophomore. That's going to come. I think she's going to learn how to stay on the floor this year, but that's what I seen last year. You know, she got in foul trouble a lot. Like, matter of fact, she was in foul trouble, I think, when she was when they played in the Final Four. But Cameron Brick, man, yeah, it's amazing how, this is why I love the college game, because I really watched these men and these women before they even, some go to the WNBA, some go to the NBA, even some play, and then majority of them, some even go overseas, and then you got some don't even want to play no more. You know what I mean? Go on with what they want to do in their life, you know, but Cameron Brink, man, so that's going to be interesting in the Pac-12. And the number 7 person is Angel Reese out of LSU. She's a 6'3" sophomore. She is a sister, and she's having lived up to her potential that comes with being the number 2 recruit in the country. With a brilliant second season at Maryland, Reese decided to lead the Big Ten for the SEC and becomes the Tigers' new centerpiece. She was one of just 2 players to earn all Big Ten and make the conference all-defensive team, and the only way to average a double-double LSU replacing 2/3 of its backcourt, and Reese is trying to expand her game. She might see more time on the perimeter this year, and this girl can go. She was highly recruited and everything, so now Kim Mulkey, she got a good guard on her hands, you know what I mean? She is a forward, but she also can play the guard position as well. And the next is sister, her name is Olivia Miles out of Notre Dame. She's 5'10" sophomore guard. But it feels like Miles still has approached her full potential. She has already blossomed into one of the nation's top point guards, perhaps the most dynamic passer in the country. Miles finished second to Caitlin Clark in assists per game and was named first team All ACC as a freshman. With her length and speed, Miles thrived in transition as both a distributor and a finisher. In the offseason, work helped improve her three-point shooting. She shot 27% last year. Miles has first team All-American. Yes, she does. I like this sister right here. She, like I said, she's just a sophomore. She's gonna learn the game, but one thing she's a point guard, and her assist, she got good assist to turnover ratio as well. She averaged 13.7 points per game last year. She averaged 5.7 rebounds per game, and she averaged 7.4 assists per game. Now we're going to get ready to go to the 9th person they got ranked. It's one of my favorite players is Katie Van Loof. Katie Van Loof. And it goes 5'7". She averaged 14.4 points per game, 3.6 rebound per game. She averaged 2.2 assists per game. Van Leaf heated up the ACC last year and then ready to show her stuff in the postseason. As the Cardinals made the program fourth Final Four appearance, she scored 20 points or more in Louisville first four NCAA tournament games and was Wichita Regional Most Outstanding Player. Van Leaf also has the fire that Coach Jeff Walz likes to see in his players, which showed on the court and in some funny media moments, such as when she was jokingly chided Jimmy Fallon for picking against Louisville. I just want to see the transition of this young lady here. You know, this girl got game, man. She's a lefty. You know what I mean? And she goes with, and this is the girlfriend of Jalen Suggs, who played for the Orlando Magic. Yeah, this girl's the goods, man. Kobe used to support this girl in every single way. You know what I mean? And I'm just interested to see her transition, man. And then number 10 is Sister Rory Harmon out of Texas. She's a 5'6" sophomore. She averaged 11.4 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. Harmon announced herself on the national stage last season with her performance in the Big 12 tournament, where she was named Most Outstanding Player. Then she helped the Longhorns to advance to the Elite 8 tournament. She had 180 assists to 80 turnovers and led the team in steals with 86. She might be more effective three-point shooter this season, and this is already a strong on-ball handler. Yeah, this girl can handle the rock. Also, she's only a sophomore. Texas needs her to move into a leadership role right away. And I agree. When you're a point guard of a team, you should be the leader. Point guard is like it's the floor general on the court. You gotta have, and this girl can handle the rock. Like I said, she's only like the person just said, she's only a sophomore. You know what I mean? But she put on a performance in the Big 12 tournament, man. And I just want to see how Texas ladies is gonna look this year. And J.C. Sheldon out of Ohio State. She's a 5'10" senior, 19.7 points per game, 4.2 assists per game, 50% field goals. Perhaps this would be the season that Sheldon no longer qualifies as Yeah, she was the most overlooked players in the country for a while, in my opinion, because look who she's going against in her conference. You know what I'm saying? And she had an injury-riddled Ohio State team to a surprising share of the Big Ten regular season title and has been remarkably consistent and reliable. Sheldon has fallen short of a double-figure scoring just 5 times in the past 2 years and has emerged as the Big Ten's best two-way guards. She was 6th in the league in scoring, led all Big Ten guards in field goal percentage as the only returner from the all-defensive team. She's on the returner. And the next one is Maddie Siegrist out of Villanova. She's a 6'1" senior, one of the country's top scorers on each of the past 2 seasons. The reigning Big East Player of the Year. She helped Villanova become the first team in 9 seasons to beat UConn in conference play. She later guided the Wildcats to the second round of the NCAA tournament for just the second time in nearly 20 years, where they kept things close against Michigan much of the way. Siegrist could have become the first player to repeat as the Big East Player of the Year since Skylar Diggins Smith in 2012 and 2013, though she'll have to adjust to the loss of the 2 starters from last year's squad. Yeah, she'll adjust. She's going to have to adjust. It's just graduation. But I do like this girl here, man. This girl can play, man. Like, this white girl got game, man. Like, this white girl got game. You know. And she averaged 25.3 points per game last year. She averaged 9.2 rebounds per game. And she averaged 49.3 from the field. All right, for y'all fellas who like to be busting y'all mayonnaise and on them napkins and all that like that, and y'all females too. Azzy Fudd, UConn. She is 5'11" sophomore. She averaged 12.1 points per game last year. She averaged 45.7 field goals, 43% on 3-point field goals as well. From the three, she shot 43% from the three last year. Fudd's collegiate career started off a bit of a whimper due to a foot injury that kept her out 11 games and impacted her mobility. Even though she returned not much healthier, Fudd says she feels like the player she always knew herself to be, and that confidence had come on to the court in practice thus far. UConn said Juno Onwurima has indicated that. With 2020 Player of the Year Paige Bucker sidelined all season with an ACL injury, Fudd is the one who has superstar potential to step up and keep the Huskers relevant in the national title conversation and keeps their streak of 14 consecutive Final Fours appearances alive. And I think it could happen. This girl can play. I ain't gonna lie, this girl can play. I remember she wasn't feeling too good in the national championship game, whatever, but the girl can play. But UConn got some work to do though this year. And to the sister, her name is Anisha Morrow out of DePaul. She is 6'1" sophomore. Last year, she averaged 21 points a game, 13.8 rebounds per game. She averaged 2.7 steals per game. Morrow impressed last season, comfortably averaged a double-double. Behind her physically and tenacity that didn't make her seem like a 6'1" freshman. She enters the 2022-23 season after being selected to Associated Press All-American team alongside the likes of Boston, Clark, Jones, and Kitley. Now as a sophomore, but with DePaul's three other top scorers from last year's gone, Morgan had to carry a larger load as the Blue Demons, who just snuck in the NCAA tournament, look to stay relevant in the Big East. It's all about recruiting. We just gonna see. I like her development. She was highly recruited as well. And the next is the sister Jordan Horston from Tennessee, 6'2". Horston rose to occasion versus ranked opponents last year, averaged 20.7 points and 10.7 rebounds against top 25 foes. She was well on her way to her best season at Tennessee when she was injured, making a hustle play. She suffered a fracture dislocation of her left elbow when diving for a loose ball on February the 17th against Alabama and did not return to action last season. Fortunately, involved this season, Horton has a chance to pick up where she left off. And this girl's scary. This girl the goods. This girl gonna bring it every single night. And that's one thing Tennessee missed last year. When she got hurt last year, Tennessee still made it, but even through the tournaments, just everything like that, ever since that game, you could just miss her presence on that team. And the next one is number 16, is Ashley Owusu, Virginia Tech. She's a 6-foot senior guard, 14.2 on 3.1 rebounds, 3.7 assists. The change of scenery is just what might be needed after a brilliant sophomore year. Earned third team All-American honors. Inconsistency crept into her game. She didn't always look like the same player last season at Maryland. Even in a down year, she was second leading scorer on the Sweet 16 that made second team All Big Ten. As powerful with the ball as any guard in the country, she consistently always get her own shot in the lane and is a elite scorer. Yeah, this girl's a elite scorer. She remind me of a girl, man, that played for the Aces, man. What's that girl's name? The guard, but it'll come to me. That went to Duke. But I don't know who's in the chat, but salute to everybody. Number 17 is Grace Berger out of Indiana. She averaged 6.2 points per game, 6.2 rebounds a game, 4.3 assists per game. She's a 6-foot senior. The super senior has a huge part of the Housers, climb to the national prominence, including their lead appearance in 2021. She hasn't shot the three-pointer a lot, having just made 37 in her career, but is very reliable mid-range shooter who also has a lot of tough strength finishing at the rim. Berger is a consistently productive rebounder and playmaker for the Hoosiers, who will contend for the Big Ten title this year. And number 18 is a sister, Ncaa Jackson from Tennessee, 6'2" senior. She's a forward. She averaged 20.3 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game. She averaged 41% field goal percentage. 20.3 points per game led the SEC before Jackson decided to lead to Mississippi State in January. She's not likely to duplicate that kind of offensive production in Knoxville with so many quality players around her, but might have also mean a more efficient Jackson. Her elite mid-range talents and ability to create her own shot are exactly that the past Tennessee teams have been missing, and why expectations have soared this year. And I agree, this girl can get her own shot whenever she wants and everything, and that's one thing Tennessee always had, like the Candace Parker and the Shamika Hoslaws, and they could get a bucket whenever they want. You know what I mean? And this girl could be able to do it. A transfer. Then number 19 is sister Maddie Williams. She's a 6' senior. She averaged 18 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists. She was first team All Big 12 the past 2 seasons. The game is great fit for the up-tempo offensive style of coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, now in her second season guy in Oklahoma. Williams and an excellent slasher, made more three-pointers last year than her first 3 years combined, relish being the go-to player at crunch time. Yes. And one of my favorite players, I just want to see her mature too, is Zaya Cook, and she's from Toledo, Ohio. I've been watching this girl since she was in high school. She's now, man, this girl already a senior. It's crazy. Cook's scoring numbers and field goals and three-pointers all saw career lows in 2021-22, but the Gamecocks still managed to assert themselves as the wire team in the country and to win the program's second national title. With point guard Destiny Henderson, who had a career best performance in the national title game, now in the pros, Cook would be tasked with stepping up as a consistent force in South Carolina's backcourt, which would take some pressure off Boston in the paint. With Boston, Cook, and Bria Beal, who are each 3-year starters for South Carolina, now serious, it's likely the last chance that this starter group has to win another title before some of it, not all, move on. I just want to see her progression. She had a very down year last year, but I think she will be back this year. I think she's going to be back this year. And South Carolina is one of my early favorites to win the title. I got them in Stanford as my preseason favorites. All right, next one is the sister Diamond Miller. Another sister, she's 6'3", 13.1 points per game, 4.0 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game. Injuries made Miller junior season a limited one, 22 games, but her overall production dipped from her sophomore year. But by the season, Miller was, that she was coming back from injuries and everything like that. And it goes on to say, with a complete healthy Miller would join Clark and Sheldon as the best guards as the Big Ten. Yeah, I agree with that. Diamond Miller, Caitlin Clark, and Sheldon are the best guards in the women's Big Ten. Them three right there. I totally agree with that. The next is Aja, another sister Blackwell from Baylor, 5'11" senior. She averaged 15.4 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game. After 3 years at Missouri, Blackman transferred to Baylor. She should be an immediate high-impact player in Waco, Texas, especially considering the Bears lost Alyssa Smith and Queen Egbo to the WNBA draft. Preparing for the pro level is one of the first things Blackman hopes to accomplish by playing to former WNBA coach Nikki Colon at Baylor. Blackwell was second to DePaul's Morrow in Division I rebounding last season, which will help the Bears. Also look for her to expand her perimeter skills this season. Yeah, she's gonna get that. Yeah, she's gonna get that out of her. She's gonna. Yeah. Shout out to the Lady Bears, man. The next one, she's one of my favorite players as well too. She don't get talked about as much either. She go to North Carolina Lady Tar Heels. Deja Kelly, 5.8 junior, 6.5 points per game, 2.6 assists per game. The Tar Heels had a lot of momentum coming off last season's solid run, and much of that has to do with the standout play of Kelly. Helping her and the rest of the squad is that they returned 85% of their scoring production from last season. Kelly has indicated that she'll be playing more point guard this season and has worked on her consistency from 3-point as well. For UNC to take the next step and advance past the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2014, Kelly will need to be a superstar for the Tar Heels, making the next jump in her development just as she did from her freshman sophomore year. And I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to do it. North Carolina girls got on a nice little run last year because of her play. And I think she's going to do it. When you put that time and that work in, it's going to show no matter what you do in your life. And that's real. And the next one is the Lexi Dornarski. She's ranked number 24. She's a 6-foot junior, 4.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists per game. She was second for Iowa State in both scoring and 3-pointers behind Jones last season. Donarski also did something no other cyclone had ever done. She won the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. It's also not easy for guards to get the honor in any league, as it often goes to forwards and centers. But Donarski earned it with hustle and committed to shutting down whoever she was guarding last year in the Big 12 play. The opponent that she primarily defended was held to 30% shooting. This girl can guard. Like, she can guard. And the last player that got ranked is Monica Cizeno out of Iowa. She's 6'3". She played 4 in center, 21.2 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game. She averaged 67.9% for the field. She led Division I in field goal percentage last year and also shot 84.3 from the foul line. That's what I'm talking about. This girl make them free throws. The super senior had 16 games last year where she shot at least 70% from the field, including 75.6 in the Big 10, tournament, which was won by the Hawkeyes. The first team All Big 10 selection. She shot below 50% in just one game all season. Wow. One of the teammates, Caitlin Park-Palmer, targets for assists, which she does, because she makes it. And she would try to help the Hawkeyes repeat their Big 10 regular season and tournament titles this year. And the other players that received boasts is Leah Edwards from UConn, Mackenzie Holmes, Indiana, Tamari Key, Tennessee, Charlize Leager, Walker, Washington State Cougars, Taylor Miskesco, Mikesell out of Ohio State, Alexis Morris, LSU, Charisma Osborne, UCLA Bruins, Kat Reese, Arizona Wildcats, and Taylor Robinson, Oklahoma. And the rankings so far, preseason rankings, the season will be starting next week on the 7th. I'm going to do AP poll, then I'm going to do the coaches poll. Coaches poll, I got South Carolina 1, Stanford 2, Texas 3, Tennessee 4, Louisville 5, Iowa 6, UConn is tied with 7. UConn, then it's NC State, Iowa State 9, Notre Dame 10, Indiana 11, North Carolina is 12, Virginia Tech is 13, LSU is 14, Ohio State is 15, Oklahoma 16, Baylor 17, Maryland's 18, Arizona is 19, Oregon is 20, Creighton is 21, Nebraska is 22, Michigan is 23. They lost a lot of players last year, and they lost their best player too as well. Um, South Dakota State is 24, and they got Princeton. Now in the AP poll, they got South Carolina 1, Stanford 2, Texas 3, Iowa 4, Tennessee 5, UConn 6, Louisville 7, Iowa State 8, Notre Dame is 9, NC State is 10, 11 is Indiana, 12 is North Carolina, Virginia Tech is 13, Ohio State is 14, Oklahoma is 15, LSU is 16, Maryland is 17, Maryland is 18, Arizona is 19, Oregon is 20, Creighton is 21, Nebraska is 22, South Dakota State is 23, Princeton is 24, and Michigan is 25 in the AP poll. Now we're going to go to the men's. This is just according to Dick Vitale. They don't break it down like the women do, but they his first team is Oscar Ashiwe, Drew Timmy, Armando Bancott, Marcus Sasser from Houston, and Trace Jackson Davis out of Indiana. His second team, he has Horner Dickerson, Jamie Jacquez, Kayla Love, Kendrick Davis from Memphis, and Mike Miles from Tennessee. Third team, he has Zach Edey from Purdue, Jalen Wilson out of Kansas, Antoine Davis out of Detroit, and Poss Alexander St. John's, and R.J. Davis, North Carolina. Then he has his fourth team is Colin Castleton, Florida, Tyrese Hunter, Texas, Terrence Shannon, Illinois, Tiger Campbell, UCLA, and Max Abbas or Roberts, 15, Adam Sonago, Isaiah Wong, Miami, Shavir Wheeler, Will Richardson, and Darius McGee out of Liberty. And now the rankings, they got North Carolina, which is preseason number 1. North Carolina brings a lot of players back. And it's going to be, they are predicted to win. And I'm not hating on no team, by the way. And I know recently somebody from the North Carolina fan base, whatever, was talking about I'm hating on North Carolina. They're going to make it to the Final Four and all this. I'm like, listen, I've been watching college basketball since the 80s. Just because you bring your whole team back doesn't mean you're going to make it to the Final Four. I seen UCLA. That's a great story right there. That's more recent for your fresh memory. UCLA 2 years ago was in the first four. Was the first four? The Frozen Four or whatever they call that. The first four in, whatever that dumbass shit is. And then they end up going all the way to the national championship. Being what they do, they bring all the starters back. They bring the starters back, and guess what happened? They end up getting knocked out by your team, North Carolina Tar Heels. Okay, Number one, there's gonna be a target on their back. I think Duke and North Carolina out of them two teams right there. You know what I mean? Duke's gonna look a whole lot different, but I still think Virginia Tech is gonna be tough as well. They got an outstanding recruiting class this year. Um, I see them making some noise this year. You know, and then it's all about how your team is playing and everything. Just because you have everybody back, it's not a guarantee. I'm just saying nothing but facts, and I'm not hating because I seen it one year. Matter of fact, I can even use my Kansas Jayhawks for example. Paul Pearson now came back and everything. Um, and the year where Paul Pierce was there, and they ended up getting knocked out by the eventual national champion Arizona Wildcats. You know what I mean? Just because you have everybody, if that's coming that's loaded, man. Hey, you still gotta go out there and put that work in, and then you just all it takes in the NCAA tournament is just have one bad game at the worst time, and it's over. Second team is Gonzaga. Gonzaga's got a lot of players coming back as well. They still gonna be in the mix. Only thing Gonzaga have to prove is just win the national championship. That's the only thing that stopped Mark Pugh from get his just due is a title. They probably gonna run through their little conference. St. Mary's gonna always gonna make it tough for them, but they just gotta win the title. Houston has a great chance of winning it as well this year. They missed two key players last year, and Houston's gonna be a dangerous team this year. Kentucky's gonna be dangerous this year. They're gonna be better than was last year. Then they got Kansas at 5. Kansas is gonna look totally different. That's my team. They look totally different. They got an outstanding recruiting class though, and I've seen how they've been playing so far. You know, they practices and things like that of that nature. It's a different team. When you lose 7 starters, you lose 7 players from your national championship team. But I think they still gonna be good. I think they still gonna be irrelevant in the Big 12. It's just with them. It just when it comes to new players, and they got other players accepting. They got to go into leadership roles. They do got players that didn't play as much last year on their team. That's gonna elevate them to leadership. You know what I mean? And Kansas is gonna be a work in progress. But I think I always said this about college basketball. By the time you hit the end of the season, like the last month of the season, going into the tournament, your conference tournament, you got to be playing your best basketball by then. Or I seen teams play their best basketball when it comes to the conference tournaments, and then it end up taking them to a deep run to the NCAA title. 6 is Baylor, which I don't have no complaints about. It's gonna be out of Kansas and Baylor, I think, again this year for the Big 12, like it has been. Duke is ranked number 7. No more Coach K. It's John Shire. UCLA is ranked number 8. They got a lot of players that's back as well. Creighton is at number 9. Creighton's gonna be good this year. Creighton's gonna be good. Arkansas, that's the team. Shout out to Coach Musselman, man. I like what he's doing down there in Arkansas, former NBA coach, man. He's really doing some big things. And his team right here, this team look nasty. I seen they practices, man. I seen they scrimmage actually, and man, these boys, man, it's all about putting it together. They are loaded from top to bottom. Just like all these elite teams it's top to bottom, but you just got to get everybody to just. It's going to be interesting how the SEC, you look out for the Razorbacks this year. I know everybody think Kentucky going to win it, but I don't know. They have a chance, but don't be surprised if Arkansas or Tennessee, who is ranked number 11, Tennessee gonna be Coach Rick Barnes. You know he's gonna make. He always have a nice team. Um, then you got Texas number 12. Then you got Indiana number 13. Shout out to Mike Woodson and his alma mater. Um, he got one of the best players in the country on his team is Jackson Davis, and I like the point guard. The guy I can't think of his name right now, but he's gonna be another year wiser, experience, and everything. Indiana, TCU's gonna be good this year. Shout out to Jamie Dixon. Auburn is number 15. Villanova is 16. This is no more what's his name? What's that dude's name? He retired, man. Jay Wright. Yeah. No more Jay Wright, but Villanova gonna be Villanova, man. I ain't got no quarrels with them. Arizona is 17. They lost a lot of players from last year's team. Coloco left. Benedict, Mac, the dude that played for the Pacers, Matherin, Benedict Matherin. Yeah, they lost some players, but Arizona always reloads. And then we got Virginia 18. Then we got San Diego State at 19, Alabama 20, the Oregon Ducks 21, Michigan. I was surprised Caitlin Houston left so early, but they still got one of the best big men in the country. In Dickinson, he a lefty. He could get it done too. Shout out to Illinois. Illinois got a lot of they got one of their transfers, Terrence Shannon, who used to go to Texas Tech, and they got another player too, and they got a nice recruiting class as well. So it'll be interesting how the final alumni is going to look. I felt like he should have put them boys out there in the fire. You know what I mean? But this is another year. You know what I mean? And I think Illinois is going to be good this year. They ain't going to have my boy no more. You know what I mean? Cockburn. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to have Cockburn out there no more. Then they got Dayton, Dayton's always been good ever since I've been growing up. Dayton Flyers, and then they got Texas Tech at 25. I don't know. See, with the men, I ain't gonna rank. I don't know who's gonna win it this year out of the men, because I just gotta let that shit unfold. I just gotta let it unfold. I'm not gonna predict the men's thing until I do my bracket. That when it's bracket time, that's when I go with it. Because honestly, this year is so wide open because Houston can win it. I can see Houston winning the title this year. I can see Carolina winning the title this year. Baylor, or UCLA, like the teams, and even Kansas to a certain extent. But like I say, they got a long way to go, you know. But I think the teams before them, yeah, they have great chances of cutting down the nets. And then when it comes to the national tournament too, college tournament, it's all about matchups. You know what I mean? One matchup that I wish I could have seen, but they didn't make it, was Purdue. Purdue was in the same bracket as Kansas, and everybody, and me and my boy Vaughn picked them two to play each other, but Purdue got knocked out, man. So, you know, shout out to everybody, man. This is straight college basketball stream here today, man. I don't know who's in the chat and everything like that, but it's going. I will be doing the game. I will be doing the NBA game sometime this afternoon, around about 4:30ish my time. I just gotta see who's playing. Matter of fact, I could go see who's playing right now on my NBA app to figure that out. But there's a lot of returning players coming back on the men's and the women's side. check something out here right quick. Oh yeah, so my college basketball game, no, my NBA game I'm going to do. Ooh, I'm having a hard time which one I'm going to choose. But yeah, I'll drop the link now. We only talking about college basketball, man. Don't be coming up in here talking about no NBA, no anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're strictly talking about college. College. If you don't watch college basketball, this ain't the stream for you. We only talking about college. Hey, and shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Now that I know, hey, I was going on straight here for almost an hour by myself. Let me see who all up in here. What's up, Alex? What's up, Wilts? JMJ was good. Sterling was good. Lemon Pepper Lou. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Kelsey Plum. She's nice too. But yeah, y'all want to come here and talk about college basketball? Link has been dropped, man. If not, man, I ain't got time to be playing around with y'all boys all day. Let me see, they got any. I know they got all the soccer games on now. Let me see this. I'll go back to ESPN Plus. I'm trying to check something out. See, there's anybody playing right now. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. The game I'll be doing tonight will be the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Portland Trail Blazers at 7. So I'll be doing that game. Y'all just want to come in here and chop it up. I see nobody want to come here and talk no college basketball with me. So it's open. I ain't gonna be waiting for all day for y'all to come in here because I could do something else. But it's gonna be a great year. I was gonna go ahead and get out of here. I guess nobody don't want to come here and chop it up about college. That's fine. Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and get myself ready for today. Do a couple things here and there, and get ready for the Blazers game tonight. But then they will be hosting John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. I might do a one around. Hold up, y'all. Okay. They do got games come on, but their games come on about 5. I will be doing I'm gonna be doing the game at 5. I ain't gonna do a game at 5. I just gonna watch it because I'm just gonna see how they look. Because exhibition season has just started. Pittsburgh State play Kansas tonight. I watched K State play last night against Washburn Rule in their exhibition game, and they look totally different. New coach and everything like that. I don't even recognize none of the players that there, but I'll just see y'all at 7:05, man. So nobody will come in and chop it up, man. It ain't no worries. I hold it down. Like, share, subscribe, man. I'm out.